Hello horror fanatics and festive fiends, and welcome back to the channel. As the sleigh bells start to jingle, we're not just decking the halls. We're diving deep into the dark, snowy heart of one of the most controversial and iconic holiday slashers ever made. Silent Night, Deadly Night, forget sugar plums and carols for a moment. We are about to unwrap a film that dared to turn the most wonderful time of the year into a landscape of terror. This isn't your grandma's cozy Christmas special. This is the story of how a jolly Saint Nick became a judge, jury, and executioner. So grab your hot cocoa or something stronger and settle in, because we're about to find out why Santa Claus is coming to town. And why you should be very, very afraid. Silent Night, Deadly Night, released in 1984, didn't just dip its toes into the Christmas horror subgenre. It did a full-on cannonball. The premise itself is brilliantly provocative. A young boy, Billy Chapman, witnesses his parents' brutal demise at the hands of a criminal in a Santa suit on Christmas Eve. Traumatized and raised in a strict, punitive orphanage, Billy's already fragile psyche is shattered. The holiday, meant to be a time of joy, becomes a trigger for his deepest fears and rage. This psychological groundwork is what sets the film apart. It's not just about a random killer in a costume. It's a tragic character study wrapped in a slasher film. The filmmakers understood that the true horror lies in corrupting our most sacred symbols. Santa Claus, the embodiment of childhood innocence and generosity, is twisted into an instrument of vengeance. This wasn't just shocking. For many it was blasphemous, and boy did it cause a stir. The public outcry was immediate and intense. Parent groups, critics, and even legendary film critic Gene Siskel picketed theaters, demanding the film be pulled. They were horrified that a movie would depict a killer Santa, fearing it would traumatize children. Advertisements were yanked from television, and the film was ultimately removed from theaters after just a couple of weeks. But here's the fascinating part. This controversy, this attempt to censor the film, is precisely what cemented its legacy. It became forbidden fruit, a cult classic whispered about in video stores and among horror fans. The very thing that was supposed to kill the movie gave it eternal life. It's a perfect example of the Streisand effect. By trying to hide it, its opponents made it infinitely more desirable and famous than it might have been otherwise. Today, the initial shock has faded, and we can appreciate the film for what it is, a masterclass in subverting expectations. So how does the film create this unforgettable blend of holiday cheer and brutal terror? It's all about contrast. The director, Charles E. Sellier Jr.B., masterfully juxtaposes classic Christmas imagery with moments of shocking violence. We see brightly lit Christmas trees, hear cheerful carols playing on the radio, and watch families celebrating, all while our killer Santa, Billy, is on the loose. One of the most iconic scenes involves Billy, now a young man forced to wear a Santa suit for his job at a toy store, finally snapping the constant barrage of festive cheer. The sight of a naughty co-worker, it all pushes him over the edge. His first kill happens right there, in the cozy, festive environment of the store. The weapon of choice. Not a knife or a gun, but the decorative antlers from a wall-mounted deer head. It's absurd, it's creative, and it's deeply unsettling. This clash between the wholesome and the horrific is the film's secret sauce. The familiar, comforting sounds and sights of Christmas become the backdrop for terror, making the violence feel even more transgressive and memorable. Let's talk about the kills, because in any great slasher, the creativity of the dispatching is a huge part of the fun. Silent Night, Deadly Night does not disappoint. After the infamous antler impalement, Billy's rampage continues, and each act is grimly tied to the Christmas theme. There's the sled decapitation, a scene so audacious and over the top it has become legendary among slasher fans. The visual of a head sliding down a snowy hill after being separated from its body by a speeding sled is pure, unadulterated 80s horror gold. Then there's the Christmas light strangulation, turning a symbol of festive decoration into a deadly weapon. The film constantly finds ways to weaponize the holidays. This isn't just random violence. It's thematically coherent. Billy's mantra, naughty, which he growls before each kill, reinforces his twisted sense of justice. He sees himself as the true Santa, punishing those who have misbehaved. This warped moral code, born from his childhood trauma, makes him a more compelling villain than your average masked killer. He's not just a monster. He's a broken human being perpetuating a cycle of violence that began on one horrible Christmas night. The film's influence extends far beyond its initial controversial run. It spawned 4 sequels, each with its own bizarre and unique take on the killer Christmas concept, ranging from a direct sequel continuing Billy E's brother E's story to a surreal tale involving a coven of witches. It also helped solidify Christmas horror as a legitimate and beloved subgenre. Without Silent Night, Deadly Night, we might not have films like Krampus, Better Watch Out, or the many other slashers that love to spill blood on fresh white snow. It proved that audiences have an appetite for holiday horror, for that delicious friction between merriment and mayhem. The 2012 remake even paid homage to the original E's controversial past by featuring a scene where townspeople protest a killer Santa, a clever nod to the real-life events of 1984. The original film's legacy is one of rebellious cinematic middle finger to traditional holiday schmaltz. It's a reminder that horror can be found in the most unexpected places, even under the Christmas tree. Looking back, Silent Night, Deadly Night is so much more than just a schlocky B-movie. It's a snapshot of a specific time in horror cinema, the golden age of the slasher, when filmmakers were pushing boundaries and gleefully courting controversy. It's a psychological horror story about how trauma can corrupt innocence, and a wildly entertaining slasher flick with some of the most memorable kills in the genre. The fusion of festive cheer and visceral horror is what makes it timeless. It taps into a primal unease, the idea that darkness can hide within the brightest of celebrations. The image of a blood-stained Santa Claus is powerful because it takes something we are taught to trust implicitly and makes it a source of fear. It's a bold punk rock move that still feels audacious today. The film challenges us to look at the holidays from a different, darker perspective. So is Silent Night, Deadly Night the ultimate Christmas horror movie? For many, the answer is a resounding yes. It's campy, it's brutal, and it's undeniably iconic. It perfectly encapsulates the spirit of the subgenre by taking the happiest time of the year and drenching it in blood. Whether you see it as a masterpiece of subversion or just a fun, gory romp, there's no denying its impact on horror history. It walked so that other holiday horror films could run, and for that we owe it a debt of gratitude this holiday season. If you're looking for an antidote to all the syrupy sweetness, you can't do better than revisiting Billy Chapman's naughty list. Just make sure you lock your doors and leave out some milk and cookies. You wouldn't want Santa to think you've been bad, would you? Thank you so much for joining me on this sleigh ride into terror. What are your favorite moments from Silent Night, Deadly Night? And what's your go-to Christmas horror film? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more explorations of all things scary. Stay safe, stay spooky, and have a very, very horrifying holiday season.